The Girl Is Mine is a song recorded by Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney. The track was written by Jackson and produced by Jackson and Quincy Jones. It was released as the first single for Jackson's sixth solo album, Thriller. The song was recorded at Westlake Studios, Los Angeles, from April 14 to 16, 1982. The year before, Jackson and McCartney had recorded Say Say Say, and The Man for the latter's fifth solo album, Pipes of Peace. Although it was released as a single, Jackson never performed the song live. The Girl Is Mine achieved success in the music charts. Aside from topping the R&B singles chart, the single peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 8 in the UK. By 1985, it had sold 1.3 million copies, and was eventually certified platinum by the Recording Industry Association of America, for shipments of at least 1 million units. Despite the song's success, it received generally mixed reviews from critics who consider it to be the weakest song on Thriller. The Girl Is Mine has been the subject of 2 plagiarism lawsuits, the first in 1984 and the latter in 1993. Both instances required Jackson to testify in court, and each lawsuit found in the favor of the singer and his record label. In 2008, for the 25th anniversary edition of Thriller, Black Eyed Peas singer will.i.am remixed The Girl Is Mine. The remix received generally unfavorable reviews from music critics. Recording, the writing of The Girl Is Mine was completed by Jackson as he watched cartoons with Paul McCartney. Producer Quincy Jones had initially told Jackson to write a song about 2 men fighting over a girl. Inspired, Jackson awoke during the night and sang the song into a tape recorder. He later said, "I sang exactly what I heard in my head, starting with the melody and the keyboard and the strings and everything. So, I just orally put it all on tape." Jones also asked Jackson to add a rap verse. The song was then recorded by Jackson and McCartney at Westlake Studios, Los Angeles, from April 14 to 16, 1982. The year before, the duo had recorded Say Say Say, and The Man for McCartney's fifth solo album, Pipes of Peace. Jackson said that the recording of The Girl Is Mine was one of his most enjoyable moments in the studio. He stated, "One of my favorite songs to record, of all my recordings as a solo artist, is probably The Girl Is Mine, because working with Paul McCartney was pretty exciting and we just literally had fun. It was like lots of kibbetzing and playing, and throwing stuff at each other, and making jokes. We actually recorded the track and the vocals pretty much live at the same time, and we do have footage of it, but it's never been shown." He concluded, "Maybe one day we'll give you a sneak preview of it." The footage of the pair was later shown at the Paul McCartney World Tour. Many members of the band Toto participated in the recording of this song, including David Paich, Jeff Porcaro, Steve Lukather and Steve Porcaro. Music. The musical structuring of The Girl Is Mine uses the AABA form, in which the song's title serves as the main source of needed repetition. When used to the maximum, this structuring, also known as the 32-bar form, has the title repeat itself in the same place, in at least 2 of the 3 verses. Author Sheila Davis' book, The Craft of Lyric Writing, notes that the repeated title line simultaneously outlines the framework of the design and drives home the main point of the lyric. Jackson's She's Out of My Life also uses this musical structuring, as does Body and Soul, Oh, Lady Be Good, and Try a Little Tenderness. The musical chords in The Girl Is Mine are seen in several songs written by Jackson. That's What You Get for Being Polite, from the Jackson's Destiny album, and 2 unreleased songs used the chords before The Girl Is Mine. Release and reception. Despite recording Say Say Say, and The Man a year prior, The Girl Is Mine was the first song to gain a release from the duo and the first single from the Thriller album. The Girl Is Mine was released as a single on October 18, 1982. The single's cover photograph was taken by McCartney's wife, Linda. Listeners were not impressed by The Girl Is Mine, and thought that Jackson's Thriller would also be a disappointment. The public felt that Jackson and the producer, Quincy Jones, had created a song for the white pop audience. Despite some of the public's concerns, The Girl Is Mine achieved success in the music charts. Topping the R&B singles chart, the single peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 and the Norwegian singles chart. The Girl Is Mine reached number 1 on the Hot Adult Contemporary Tracks chart. The song charted at number 8 in the UK, peaking within the New Zealand top 20. By 1985, the single has sold 1.3 million copies. The single was later certified platinum by the Recording Industry Association of America, for shipments of at least 1 million units. Since its release, The Girl Is Mine has received mixed reviews from journalists and music critics. Journalist Robert Christgau described the pairing of McCartney and Jackson as Michael's worst idea since Ben. Rolling Stone stated that the song was a whimper demo middle-of-the-road ballad, and that McCartney was tame. Stephen Aliwin of AllMusic noted that the song had a sweet schmaltz. Jackson's breakdown with the irrepressibly silly Paul McCartney was disarmingly goofy, according to Stylus magazine. Salon.com later described The Girl Is Mine as a sappy duet. They concluded that McCartney had become a wimpy old fart. The song garnered a favorable review from Jackson's biographer, J. Randy Taraborelli. The writer stated that the song was cute, but lacked substance. He added that the track had a middle-of-the-road calm, and was the antithesis of the rambunctious Beat It. Plagiarism lawsuits. The Girl Is Mine has been the subject of 2 plagiarism lawsuits. Both instances required Jackson to testify in court, and each lawsuit found in the favor of the singer and his record label. The first legal trial occurred in 1984, with Fred Sanford claiming that Jackson had cut a tape of his song, Please Love Me Now. Jackson, however, insisted that he composed The Girl Is Mine. The $5 million copyright suit was closed after the jury of 5 men and a woman reached a verdict in the favor of Jackson. Their verdict was reached after a 3-day deliberation. Jackson was not a defendant in the trial but testified to maintain his credibility. James Klenk, Jackson's attorney, praised the singer upon the jury's verdict. The man is a genius. He doesn't need anyone else's songs. His own words were the key. During the court proceedings, Jackson revealed how he composes his songs. I put them in a tape recorder and I orally sing them into the tape, and that's how it happens. One juror stated, his presentation indicated that he was well able to develop his own songs. The song's second plagiarism trial was in 1993. Raynor Jones and Robert Smith alleged that The Girl Is Mine, along with Thriller written by Rod Temperton and We Are the World, resembled their musical works. The pair added that they had been childhood neighbors of the Jackson family when they had resided in Gary, Indiana. Jackson, Lionel Richie co-writer of We Are the World and Quincy Jones were named as the defendants. The plaintiffs asserted that Joseph Jackson had received a demo tape from them. From the tapes, the defendants were alleged to have stolen the 3 hit songs. Raynor Jones also claimed that he had considered suing Jackson over Billie Jean. Jackson appeared in court via a tape testimony. Following the testimony, the 9-member jury found Jackson to be the writer and composer of The Girl Is Mine in early 1994. They also ruled that the defendants had not plagiarized Thriller, or We Are the World. The Girl Is Mine 2008, for Thriller 25, an album celebrating Thriller's 25th anniversary, Black Eyed Peas singer will.i.am remixed The Girl Is Mine. Entitled The Girl Is Mine 2008, the remix featured an original solo demo of the song by Jackson, before he had recorded the duet with McCartney. will.i.am added his own vocals and new verse. Though the remix sampled the demo, the Daily Telegraph alleged that McCartney was omitted because he and Jackson had fallen out over the latter's purchase of Sony ATV Music Publishing and the Beatles song catalog in 1985. Despite the allegation, the original version of The Girl Is Mine was included on the album, with McCartney's vocals included. Upon its release in 2008, the song reached number 12 in New Zealand. Peaking at 22 in France, the song charted within the top 50 of Denmark, Sweden and Switzerland. The remix peaked at number 51 in Switzerland. Reception. The Girl Is Mine 2008 received mostly unfavorable reviews from music critics. Journalist Christopher Rees stated that will.i.am had done a fantastic job of murdering a classic song. Rob Sheffield of Rolling Stone noted that will.i.am's production was dumb thug bluster, and criticized him for trying to hide the goofy doggone hook the whole point of the song. Music journalist Aiden Vaziri criticized the song, stating, "The Black Eyed Peas rapper completely erases Paul McCartney's vocal track from the original duet to make room for himself spouting nonsense such as, 'I call her mommy and she call me papa, I'm sorry Mike, but she loves the way I rock a.'" Stephen Aliwin of AllMusic claimed that will.i.am had turned The Girl Is Mine into a hapless dance number. Kela Fasini of Blender noted that will.i.am contributes beats and rhymes to The Girl Is Mine 2008. IGN's Todd Gilchrist stated that will.i.am's The Girl Is Mine remix was an offense. The offense was made even more egregious by the insertion of his own eternal vocal presence in place of McCartney's. Pitchfork Media added to the unfavorable reviews, stating of will.i.am, "He takes Macca off The Girl Is Mine but decides it can't work without someone sounding like an idiot and steps manfully in himself." The Times stated that whoever thought it was a good idea for will.i.am to participate in the song ought to be locked in a windowless cell with nothing but those songs on a continuous loop. Pop Matters, however, praised Thriller 25 and the remix of The Girl Is Mine. They wrote, "Any album good enough to make you forgive a song as bad as the Paul McCartney duet The Girl Is Mine has got to be damn good." They added that will.i.am had put a breezy spin on the track and that the song's omission of McCartney did not suffer because of it. Charts remix credits written by Michael Jackson, William will.i.am Adams, Keith Harris, produced by William will.i.am Adams, engineered by William will.i.am Adams, mixed by William will.i.am Adams, drums, William will.i.am Adams, keyboards, William will.i.am Adams, keys and synths, Keith Harris, recorded in November 2007. Charts. Personnel, written and composed by Michael Jackson, produced by Quincy Jones and Michael Jackson, Rhodes, Greg Gaines, acoustic piano, David Paich, synthesizer, David Foster, synthesizer programming, Steve Porcaro, guitar, Dean Parks and Steve Lukather, bass guitar, Louis Johnson, drums, Jeff Porcaro, vocals, Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson, vocal arrangement by Michael Jackson and Quincy Jones, rhythm arrangement by Quincy Jones and David Paich, synthesizer arrangement by David Foster, strings arranged and conducted by Jerry Hay, concertmaster, Jerry Vinci. Notes. References: Campbell, Lisa. Michael Jackson, The King of Pop's Darkest Hour. Brandon. ISBN 0-8283-2003-9. Davis, Sheila. The Craft of Lyric Writing. Writer's Digest Books. ISBN 0-89879-149-9. George, Nelson. Michael Jackson, The Ultimate Collection Booklet. Sony BMG. Halstead, Craig. Michael Jackson, For the Record. Authors Online. ISBN 978-0-7552-0267-6. Tara Borley, J. Randy. The Magic and the Madness. Terra Alta, West Virginia, headline. ISBN 0-330-42005-4. External links, full lyrics of this song at Metro Lyrics.